Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dane, your host. Hope you're doing great wherever you may find yourselves. Blessings to all. Welcome to another episode of How Good Is This Album? And today's album to present is Accept Restless and Wild. This is where I came in with the band. I'm in high school. This came out October 4th, 1982. So I'm not in high school when this album comes out, but I didn't hear it until I was a freshman and sophomore in high school, so a year or two later. Unlike its complementary band, if you will, or contemporary is the word I'm looking for, excuse me. It's contemporary in Screaming for Vengeance from Judas Priest, which came out in July of 1982, so I did hear that when it came out. Listening to Album Hour on a special program that I listened to growing up on the radio from WRNO here in New Orleans. And this album has a different album cover depending on where you're from, is my understanding. I've seen it. I've always I had this on vinyl eventually after, once I started high school and I heard it, I had to go out and buy it. And this was the album cover they had in the store. And then I guess about a year or two later, I saw that there's an alternative version, which I think is the European version, produced by Dieter Dierks, who you know from the Scorpions. And he even, I do believe, if memory holds, that he sings like background vocals on a track or two. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, or something to do with that. Anyway, let's get started. So the first track is Fast as a Shark. So right off the bat, you have this amazing lightning speed type of a song, but before you get to that, you have this worn crackling sound or popping and or hissing of a vinyl record being played, and it's an old German tune. I forget the German name of it or the translation for that matter, but it's an old German tune, and the reason for that is, like so many songs, to make, when the heavy part kicks in, make it all that heavier sounding because of the light and shade, the juxtaposition, if you will. And before you get to the actual song, you hear Udo screaming, and then you get the pummeling double bass drumming that is proto thrash metal, of course, if not thrash metal in its own right. And as Screaming for Vengeance, as I often think as a contemporary, because it is a contemporary to this album, you have the thrash metal or proto thrash metal song on that album in Screaming for Vengeance, the title track. But you have this, for this album, for this song, you have the pummeling double bass drums. If I go ahead and say also, you have a kind of a 1-2-3 punch, because you have Overkill, the album from Motorhead, that is also very proto thrash with the double bass drums. So anyway, pummeling double bass drumming on the song. The riff is a motif here. It's great. You have a anthemic chorus. Some of the lyrics are surprise attack coming from the back. I love it. 2 minutes in, you have a very Judas Priest-like guitar solo, and then towards the end you have the attack part. It's just at the end, it's just great. And much of this album, this song, What's to Follow, and a song or two also, you have that, you have to get up and move, that kind of, the typical imagery, at least for me when I listen to this album, and I have to get up and move and imitate the Tipton KK Downey thing, where they're holding guitars and they're going back and forth like that. It just, and in the video for this, they're doing that as well, I believe. And Warren does it with the white jackets, of course. Anyway, so Fast as a Shark, I give an 11 out of 10. It's that good of a song for me. Next, the title track, Restless and Wild, is my favorite song on the album. I also give this an 11 out of 10. Best song on the album, my favorite song of all the Accept songs in their discography, which is quite big now. Again, that Judas Priest, got to get up and move and do that with the guitar in your hand, right? Or if you're just playing air guitar like me, light and shade, that to and fro, back and forth between light and shade, foreshadowing perhaps Balls to the Wall on the next album. Great riffing here. You have this 2 minutes in, you have that anthemic middle section, which is just fabulous. The guitar solo is just amazing, one of Wolf Hoffman's best solo efforts, if not his best of all time. I just love this. I'm in love with this song. It never gets old for me. Then the third track, Ahead of the Pack. This is an 8 out of 10 for me. It's a great anthemic driving song, and I don't mean driving in the car. The song is driving. It is a driving compulsion to it, if you will. And the last third of the song is a fantastic guitar solo, very reminiscent of Michael Schenker UFO vibe, although brief. And it's a great chorus to the song. I give this an 8 out of 10, and I still call it great. It's a very good song. But anyway, great chorus. Next is Shake Your Heads, another anthemic song. A lot of anthemic stuff going on this album. A lot of the times I don't like anthems, but it just works here for some reason for me. So this song, Shake Your Heads, definitely an anthem. Get a quasi-doomy intro on guitar here. It's wonderful. The chorus, the title, Shake Your Heads, but also you get Cry Out As Loud As You Can as part of that anthem. It's great. The solo, guitar solo here, again, is very Michael Schenker-ish, UFO-ish sounding, nice touch. I'm wondering if that's deliberate or not, but it is great, I think. So this song gets a 9 out of 10 for me. Next is the wonderful Neon Nights. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. There's a slow intro, acoustic guitar. It's a nice touch. Then you get this bending electric guitar as if it's filtered through something. I'm not sure. Some feedback as well. It's great. The riff is just, when it comes in, is just so heavy. It's wonderful. It's a moody piece, though. Great lyrics. Check them out. It's a very moving song, very compelling. The music meshes so well with the lyrics. Moody solo complements the lyrics greatly, so that meshing continues. You have some brief stuttering notes here from the guitar. Very brief, though, very Ace Frehley-ish in that stuttering. I wish there was more of that, but it's still great. There's also the song overall has a very reminiscent of something classical-minded or classical music in general, and I can't put my finger on it, the guitar solo especially, but overall the song as well has a classical vibe to it. And then the last part of the song is that speeding up, which is just phenomenal. So 10 out of 10, love me, the song Neon Nights, great. Next you have Get Ready, which is an 8 out of 10. This has a hair metal tone to the intro guitar that comes in at the beginning of the song. If not for Udo's vocals, this would be a stripper pole song. Thank goodness it's not totally. The music is, but Udo's vocals makes it something more, thank goodness. As I said, you got a killer guitar solo here. Again, very 80s metal. It is 1982 after all, so not sure if they were influenced by, hair metal, but it has that feel to it. 8 out of 10. Next, Demon's Night. I think this is an underrated gem. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. The drums with the guitar riff comes in. It's great. It's a Judas Priest kind of vibe going with the, it's just, I can't do it right, but it's just great. Cool headbanger of the song. The drums and riff are the best part, along with Udo's phrasing. Best part of the song. Although the whole song, what's going on with all the band members is great. The solo at the 3-minute 20-second mark, a bit atonal with shrieks, but it's dynamite. I love it. And then you get the chorus that comes in, wonderful chorus. All right, so Demon's Night, 10 out of 10. Next, you get another 11 out of 10 for me, Flash Rockin' Man. You have the riff that has been repeated throughout so many different bands and songs. There's a video out there somewhere, I forget what the title of it, it documents, not all of them, but many of the songs that begin with what's called the 2-minute to midnight riff from Iron Maiden, although they didn't do it first. Venom has done it, Dio has done it, Jag Panzer, going all the way back to Rory Gallagher. Check that video out if you can find it. If I can find it, I'll post it in the comments. This is a great headbanging song. I love it. 11 out of 10. Next, Don't Go Stealing My Heart Away, probably my least favorite song on the album. There are days where I give it an 8 out of 10, but I give it an overall 7. So it's my least favorite song on the album, but I do like it. Also has a hair metal-y feel. If it wasn't for Udo's vocals here, I can imagine this easily as a Quiet Ride song, a Rat song, a Dokken song, a Aerosmith song, a Kiss song, a Twisted Sister song, you name it, a Motley Crue perhaps. Alright, but 7 out of 10. Next, the closing track is Princess of the Dawn. I give this an 11 out of 10. This is a mid-tempo, well rather the song begins with a mid-tempo intro guitar riff. Again, that Judas Priest vibe comes to mind. Again, except not necessarily copying Judas Priest, but is very similar in the way, at least for me, wanting to get up and do that tipped and downing move where they're in sync, right? So you have Judas Priest vibes here. You have UFO vibes. You even have some Saxon vibes here. And I mean musically, not just because you have Princess in the title, of course, reminiscent of the Saxon song Princess of the Night. Maybe a little bit of UFO's Queen of the Deep, maybe. But there is a UFO vibe going on, whether or not it's that song. It's moody, got a moody guitar solo. It's exquisite, though. The guitar solo, as I said, is exquisite. I love it. It's riveting. It's 6 minutes and 18 seconds for Accept. That's pretty much an epic track. Towards the end, the narrator takes over, repeating the phrase "Princess of the Dawn," and it erupts very end. The song ends very abruptly, lending itself to that moodiness. Really cool. So, with the exception of "Don't Go Stealing My Heart Away," which I gave a 7 out of 10, this is almost a greatest hits album for me. It's just, I love everything here. If I were to do my favorite 20 Accept songs, all of them would be on here except that one, perhaps. Maybe not Get Ready, but I do like it. So if you do it by the numbers, you have 10 tracks, and add up all the song numbers, the numbers that go with each song that I gave you, like 11 out of 10, etc. You get 96 divided by 10 is a 9.6. A 9.5 for me on my scale is an excellent, and a masterpiece is a 10. So this is an excellent album. That's how good this album is. And so it's near a masterpiece. And even before I did it by the numbers, to me, I always thought this was a near masterpiece. And it would be a masterpiece if Don't Go Stealing My Heart Away was a little better. Anyway, tell me what you think of this album. I wish there was more like this in the Accept catalog. I do like the follow-up Balls to the Wall, but it pales a little bit in comparison to this. Metal Hearts, I think, a little better. And in similar vein to this, Metal Heart there's one song in there, I think it's Bound to Fail, has a classical touch to it, and I can't explain that, but, oh man, those 3 albums are probably the best in their catalog, and then after that would be somewhere in the first 3 albums in their discography. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Take care. God bless. See you next time. Bye now.